86. Rip Pod in the
Woo!
house. Your boy Javier, the big dog Victorious. And of course, we got a special guest going on, Don Ferguson. Welcome, Don. Rip Pod, appreciate you joining us, brother.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Let's do it again. We had some audio issues. It's not gonna stop us. This train
power through,
fam. The track's hot. We're gonna get into we're gonna
Couple
get into
at
so
bats.
much. We're gonna get into so much, man. Celts going on as we speak. Just caught that W down in Miami, down 3-1 in the series, bringing it back to Boston. I was at game 1. We took a fat L. I had a guy all up in my business too. We can get up in that. You know, seats was kind of tough.
Swallowed up.
Kind of crowded. We can get into that maybe in the OT. Hey, we're gonna get into some PGA stuff, some live stuff. We just had a major go on. It was actually in Rochester, New York. I don't know. Wow, not too far from us, right? So we can get into all that. I know Don's a golfer. He was just talking about how he shot a 45 today over 9. Unbelievable. I'm like right in. Perfect. I'm right with you, Don. I'm right in there. And then we can, of course, just, kind of catch up with Don, fellow Riv alum, so he's back, as a coach. We've had so many coaches on the Rib Pod. So, we're going to get into the mix, man.
I might be your oldest alum.
Weren't you the first graduating class of Riv?
I thought you were going to say best looking alum, Don.
I am the best looking. No, am I the first graduating class? No. Damn. Freaking with dodging dinosaurs and everything.
Dude, from male, female. Is that what you're saying? From male side?
Yeah, probably like one of the first male classes.
All right.
But I'm the volleyball godfather, so it's all right. And soccer. Soccer, represent.
Hey, Riv Athletic Hall of Famer, Don Ferguson.
On the wall.
We'll get into it all, man. Been coaching for a minute. On the wall, put some respect on the name.
With hair.
Thank you. Hey.
Come on now.
Hey, we'll get into it. Oh, thank you, Don. Thank you, Victorious, as always. Man, we're going to get into episode 86. Rip Pod. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hey, the boys are here. We're going to get into it. We're going to, we'll do a pause on the Revs, pause on soccer. We're going to be at the game on June 10th. Rip Pod will be in the house at that date. It's against Inter Miami. Make sure you try to check that out. We'll be in the house, so should be a good game. Haverhill Youth Soccer Night. And, we'll get it cracking there. We'll get the barbecue going. You know how we do it. But for now, man, Don, I don't know if you ever been to a Revs game?
Not a Revs game, no. I went to a Red Bulls game once.
Okay.
Good times. Yep. And a buddy of mine he's down in Miami right now. He's an Inter Miami game. He's a fan.
Hey, listen, they got a beautiful setup down there. They got a nice setup.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll like I said, we'll kind of pause the soccer for this week, but we'll get into it. More to follow as always, man. But Rip Pod, we're happy to be here. Kick off Memorial Day weekend, May 24th. Pumped to have you on, Don. Let's get into it, fam. I don't know if you've got any questions for Don that you want to kick off right off the bat, but I know Don. We talked a little bit before we went hot, and I'm just trying to get a vibe of or give the people a vibe. How we connected, how we know each other, how we linked up back in the day.
A long time ago.
Your coaching, just how you've been in the coaching forever. I got your little resume here from the WestCon website. I can drill through it if you want. I got the little bio right here.
Let's hear it.
You've been at WestCon, since like 2012 here, Don?
2012. Yeah, that's right. And 7 years prior to that, previous 7 years before that, I was University of Hartford. And then the 4 years prior to that, St. Anselm, New Hampshire represent, Little Manch, Vegas.
Yep.
And then before that, I was a Bishop Girton head coach. I helped start the program there, and I was the assistant at Riv.
BG Nashua. Yep.
Yeah.
BG
Repping
Nashua. Solid resume there, Don. Solid resume. Let's get into just, even like your volleyball background, athletic Hall of Famer at Riv, at the U, Riviera College when we went.
Riv Nation.
Of course, we still got the college gear, but now we call it the U. But yeah, just get into.
Do we call it the U? That's what we call it, the U?
That's what I always call it.
Yeah,
Miami doesn't care that we're doing that. Miami's like, oh, you're cool. You're fine.
No,
are you?
So we take it. I know you got the Miami colors on, Don, but that's all right. That's not going to stop us.
No, listen.
Don, just chop it. Let's just chop it up, man. Glad you're here with us. I'm going to toast one up for you. Appreciate you, Don. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy to have you, man. And like I said, we'll just kick off Memorial Day weekend.
No, I'm happy to be here. Like I said, I said this earlier before Victoria screwed everything up. Just happy that you guys are representing bringing all the old Riv back, and I appreciate it. And you guys are doing a great job. And honestly, love listening to you, and your banter is fantastic. It's on point as always. Like, you know. No, listen. I fell into volleyball. Like I grew up a soccer player, and I was a Navy brat. So wherever I went, there was a beach, and I grew up playing some beach ball. And when Top Gun first came out, every Navy guy thought they could play volleyball. So I was like 13 years old playing against these guys, who are men, and it was awesome. And we got lucky when I was at Riv. I ended up going to Riv. Long story behind that. You don't need to know that. No, it's good. Ended up going there, and Joanne Merrill at the time said, "Hey, we need one more sport. What do you think of volleyball?" And we were already playing on the side, left and right. So it just kind of went to fruition from there. And now it's one of the best programs in the nation. And it's really cool to follow up. And even the cats this year, like there was a senior that walked up and introduced himself to me, kind of told me his backstory. Like it was just, it's cool to hear every time I stop in and see a guy, and it's great to follow them. So
yeah, that you really you took the words right out of my mouth. What an unbelievable, I guess I don't have the words for it. Like I was gonna say like concept, but what construct, I don't know. But just from when you started, Don, and still going back, I couldn't make it to the alumni weekend this year, but just to have it. I'm sure the crowd was thorough. I'm sure there's a lot of people there. Good turnout, I'm sure. I'm bummed I couldn't make it, but yeah, just how many years is this now, Don, that we've been doing it?
Sugar, honey, iced tea. I'm trying to think.
At least 13, 13, 14, 15 years almost.
The program itself will be 30 years old next year.
Right.
So probably 15 years for alumni games.
For the alumni stuff, right.
Your group was a little less represented this year. Just getting a little bit younger.
Yep.
It's got that next batch. Like Chase was still there. Obviously Costa was still there. But then you got that next batch kind of hanging around, so it was interesting, because all of a sudden those guys are on the older side. So
no, I like it. It's a natural evolution. It's a natural evolution.
Full circle. It comes full circle.
Victorious, right? We've had, and I know. Well, I was gonna say, even like my man Justin Spano, who's a big supporter of the show. I know like my man Rory, who supports the show. We've had so many people who are like friends of the program too, right?
Yeah.
Who are always, we always, even when at Peddlers, there's like people who don't play volleyball who always, friends of the program, who are always around and buzzing around. So that's always awesome too. It's not always just the players. We've had a bunch of solid managers. The boys and the women's, or the men's and the women's program always flows together, right? So there's lots of love there. So it's spread out, solid connections all around.
Listen, one thing you hear this all the time, right? You guys, first off, you guys say it all the time, right? Fam, right? It's true. But you don't have that everywhere. And I had the blessing to be able to speak this year to the kids. I was at last minute fill-in, but to be able to talk about that and having coached for so long, it is so hard to replicate that, and I think it was just the right situation at the right time, and that's kind of how Riv sprung, and that's what it's all about today, and that's why you guys.
And I just think about
that's awesome.
I think about Riv too, and cause I think about it we went to the same high school. You were 2 years behind me, but we reconnected at Riv, and for me, that was pretty dope because it just rekindled kind of what, you know what I'm saying, what we had kind of back in high school. And again, that's what I'm appreciative for Riv for, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I even think
getting that back, fam.
Fam, that's huge. First of all, 2 years ahead of you, fam. All right, 2 years ahead of you.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
2 years ahead of you.
Oh, my bad.
2 years behind you.
Oh, my bad.
Behind me, yes. But what I was gonna say too, right, fam, is the soccer program, right? Because we play soccer too, and Don, you just mentioned soccer too, so we all get kind of volleyball and soccer ties. The soccer program would Coach Thomas, right? Scott Thomas. So
Scott Thomas was the first one.
It's funny how things kind of go in waves or whatever. But when he was there, that program was hot, right? And they had a GNAC winner. I know we just talked a little bit before we went hot.
97.
Right? They had that 97 GNAC winner. So and when I was there, there was always rumors of Scott Thomas, and he always brought in a bunch of big recruits, and his classes were always solid, this, that, and the other. So there's definitely elements of it, around the whole school, but just to see it still going, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the best part, man.
You know, it's funny because you have that in soccer. It's not, but I don't feel like it's quite the same. And all the soccer people out there listening are going to hate on me, but that's all right because I was one of the founders of soccer too. So whatever, get over it. There's something that's been different, and I think it's been more the continuity. You know, with Kolick been there for forever. You know, Joanne Merrill actually started the program, been there forever. Whereas soccer, after Coach Thomas, they went through a number of coaches, and I couldn't even tell you who the coach is now. But yeah, I mean, Thomas did a great job. He brought all these kids in from Texas. You know, Phil Broom doing these backflips, throwing the ball in, like ridiculous.
Real quick, I'll leave you with this one just so we can kind of carry on from the roof stuff. So you were there on campus this past, couple months back.
Yeah.
You were there on campus, a while back, back in your heyday. What is the biggest difference? Could be like the food, could be, an actual building or two, facilities, like what's the overall, even like the vibe or, just the general atmosphere, the general environment. What's the biggest difference you would think?
Well, I got to legally drink, so that was cool.
You didn't get written up?
I didn't get written up. You know, that was cool. Like Paula Randazza didn't call me to her office.
Raz,
she's
wow.
Yeah,
Steve.
no, she's legacy at this point. So,
what, Steve Lynn? Don't make he'll get somebody. He'll get on somebody real quick.
No, it's I mean the buildings. Since I graduated, like the library's been redone, the science center's been redone. There's everything's been redone, and now they're doing a village, like a residential village across the street from the gym. It looks fantastic.
Like
the gym's been redone.
Club. Right.
So it's just when I go back there, I look around. I'm like, damn, these kids got it nice. And like when I was there, they didn't have the dorm up by the education center, the quads or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I think you guys were like one of the first people that had that.
Oh yeah, there's a name for it now. I forget what it is.
Yeah. But no, it's a trip.
Overall, right? For sure. Overall, probably just like a serious upgrade. No, that's a good point. And even like I saw the construction on those facilities across from the golf course, and those look like they're going to be fantastic. So
yeah, like a whole residential village. Like, do we even have enough people for that? Like, that's ridiculous. A redonkulous, as we used to say. Come on now.
I'm trying to think too, Don. I'm trying to think of like BG stuff, St. A stuff, or even Hartford stuff before we get into like some WestCon. Just trying to think of like the journey or the path you've taken along your coaching career, and just trying to see like some highlights, some lowlights, or kind of anything in between that you kind of want to throw out there.
Yeah,
any classes that stuck out to you, any players, any trips, anything like that.
I mean, there's so many players that stand out. Like that's the trippy part about it, right? Like every year it's a different class.
Yep.
When I was at St. A's, like I remember my first recruiting class with Katie Douglas and Kathleen McCarthy.
I remember those girls.
Yeah, well, they used to come down because I was also coaching with Riv, and they would come down.
I remember those names.
I know, like Katie dated, Chase, and Laterno dated freaking Bucarelli. Yeah. So it's like Kathleen was the only one that stayed away from you freaks. So, and I was like, all right, let's go. Alana McNeil, who just got inducted in the Hall of Fame probably 5-6 years ago, as the all-time kill leader. Awesome. She was one that stood out from there. And then Hartford, there's just too many to name. I was there for 7 years. But in particular, like the Nethersole sisters and Jackie Tamburi. I mean, just you can go on forever. Like I said, I kind of fell into it. I wasn't looking to coach full time. Similar to you, I was involved in social services. I worked at National Children's Home for 7 years.
Nice.
I was doing coaching part time. And then I just kind of, like I said, I just started coaching on the side, loved it. St. A's took a chance on me, ended up doing really well there. Now they're fully funded now, and Brendan is there doing a great job, and it's got them in the hunt every year. That now all of a sudden they've got scholarship money, which we never had there. So, it's kind of trippy to see that, as every place that I've left has like started supporting the program better. Because I got it to a point where they needed to support it better. and that's been my legacy up until this point where we got to a point where, all right, now you need to put money in if you want to get any better. So, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been great. Although
Yeah,
Hartford's going D3 next year.
Oh, like across the board, right?
Across the board, they're going to CCC, so they'll be in with like Endicott and
Yeah,
Western New England and stuff. We actually open at home against them next year. Like, let's go. I'm about that beatdown. Let's go.
well, that's it, right? A little background, right? So Don, he was at Hartford. They were D1, right?
Yep, for 7 years.
And then they went D3 while you were there.
No, they just went D3 this past year.
Okay.
They started transitioning. Bud Light commercial. Don't mess around with it. They started transitioning this year. So that was for you, Vic. Vic.
No, so that's been a wild journey. So you've been able to coach on at like all levels, right? High school, D1, D2, D3, all that good stuff. I mean, what do you? I'm just trying to think, right? Because Victorious is coach, I coached. We've had a bunch of coaches on, like I mentioned. It's just it's a thankless job, Don. It's a lot of odd hours, a lot of things like you do besides actual coaching volleyball.
90% of what I do is not coaching volleyball. Like I do a sugar ton of counseling. I can't remember if this is a family show. A bunch of counseling, academic advisement. Yeah, a shit ton. Let's go. No, it's 90% of what you're doing is recruiting and taking care of kids and helping them achieve their goals. And then there's volleyball, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I've been blessed and lucky enough, and she probably won't hear this, but thank God for my wife who like lets me kind of do what I did.
It's huge.
She got up and moved with me. We were living in Manchester when I was coaching at St. A's, and Hartford offered me the full-time job at Division I. I said, hey, people don't often get this break. Let me take this. And she's like, let's go. So luckily, like I said, she's in school and counseling, so she was able to kind of go and find her way through it, and somehow we managed it. But yeah, it's been amazing. Like over 20 years. I think it's almost 25 years now. I've been coaching at the collegiate level. So
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good for you, Don. We'll give you some love right there.
Yeah. Somehow I've lasted.
Well, I had a quick question. I don't know if Victorious has anything over there, but one thing I just wrote down is, what's a common myth about your job or field of expertise? What's a common myth? I know we just talked briefly about it. Like I said, it's 10% actual coach in volleyball. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest myth is that you just show up and just coach.
Yeah, just roll the balls out, right?
Yeah, and at some point, part of it's like that, but the recruiting aspect, I always get, even now, I get conversations like, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I coach at WestCon. They're like, oh, what else do you do? Like, would you ask Gino at UConn if that's all he does? No, you wouldn't. Like, it's the same thing, but on a smaller scale. Like, and then sometimes it's actually a greater scale because I don't have eight other assistants. So you're doing everything that their whole department's doing. You're just doing on your own. So, but it's like I said, when you say it's not, I can't remember the phrase you said.
Thankless.
Thankless job.
Yes.
It isn't a thankless job. It is and it isn't, right? Like, cause like I had a kid this year who's graduating. I know you talked a little bit about her, Abby Debs. She was a kid not highly recruited, came in, busted her ass, and honestly, she was one of the top middles in New England.
Yeah, like, so I was gonna say middle hitter. Yeah, I was gonna say middle hitter.
Oh, she's ridiculous. Actually, next week we have a coach coming from Slovakia to come and take a look at her to see if he wants to bring her overseas, and play on his team. So we'll see. But yeah, so it's like he says that you get those aspects, but at the same time, like you won't hear from players until they need something. Right? All of a sudden, like a player will be like, hey, coach, I need a reference. I'm like, you haven't talked to me in 10 years. You got it. No problem. Right? Or all of a sudden you get an invite to their wedding and you're like, let's go. I'm going to show you how to dance. Let's go.
But Don, that's how it always works out. They only come when, they need something.
Of course.
So, you're on call, baby. And that's part of being that full-time coach.
No, of course. And yeah, and you don't expect it either. Like, right? You don't do it for the thank yous. you do it, because you get home and you're like, wow, that kid busted her ass today, and that kid did everything she could to make her experience her own, right? And then you're just appreciative of it. So, yeah, listen, like I said, coaching is what I've been lucky enough to somehow make a living at it,
Nice.
and luckily enough, I left Division I for a Division III job, partially because of the security, partially because and Vic, this, I'm a state employee, so my state benefits and my pay are completely different than when I was at a private school. I do pretty well coaching, and it's amazing that I've been able to make a career at something I love. So, and Hav, like I think about like coaching you guys. Like I loved coaching you guys. That was fantastic. And part of the thing is I was an assistant coach to you, so I didn't even have to like be serious. I could mess around with you and have a Shark Tank
Yep.
and go from there.
Yeah,
So
we could go to St. Thomas. We could go
go
to the
to
Virgin Islands, right?
yeah.
And kick it up for sure. That's unbelievable. Yeah, I know Victorious. We kind of joke around. We both coach like our kids like youth soccer teams and do that on Saturday mornings and kick around.
God bless you.
But, yeah,
you got a tougher job than me.
Yeah, sometimes it's not easy.
No,
I know Victorious. Sometimes we text him back and forth. I'm actually I mentioned a few times. I'm on the board of Haverhill Youth Soccer, and it's like it's a headache sometimes. But we do it for the kids. We do it for the love.
Yeah.
What else, fam? Any other like kind of coaching? Any other kind of mix about Don? I want to hop into some NBA stuff. We'll get Don's thoughts on the Celts. See what kind of team he thinks they are. Fam, you got anything else that you want to before we head that way?
Yeah, I did not realize, Don, that you were like a multi-star athlete. Like you're a multi-star athlete.
I don't know about star, but I was a multi-athlete.
What were your sports again?
Listen, I don't know if this is PC to say. Soccer, volleyball.
Definitely. So you're in the Riv Hall of Fame. It's what's on the plaque. It says volleyball. It doesn't throw any. You play soccer.
Yeah,
also?
It's soccer and volleyball. Listen, I'm in there as a pioneer. I am not in there as a fantastic player. I will say, I'll be honest with you. I was a good player because I believed I was a good player, and I believed I could beat anybody, and that's why I was a good player. But I'm in the Hall of Fame because I'm a pioneer and because I was one of the first players and founding members. I'm not in there because of my stats. Like Andy Chase will be in there. He was the first All-American. Like I just had this conversation with Joanne and Craig at the reunion and been like, hey, this kid's got to be in there. Why is he not in there? And he's coming soon. So, but yeah, I'm good. Because I believed I was good and I didn't give a shit about anybody else. So
yeah, hell yeah, you were like, I
get frustrated.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were like, the guys who poured the tea out in the Boston Tea Party. You know what I'm saying? They get credit too. You know what I'm saying? So you're like one of them guys.
Revolutionary. It's a revolutionary for sure.
Hell yeah.
No, it was like I said, it was blissful. I can't thank Riv enough for the experience I had and before going to Riv, I was looking to go play Division I soccer, and it wasn't because of my skill. It's because I'm 6'2.5" and 200 pounds, so I was able to take kids down playing defense. It wasn't because of my ball touch, and then I got mono my senior year, and that was before the internet, before sending tapes, before all of that. So if you couldn't get a coach to come see you play, that was it. And I took a chance and I loved it and it changed my life. So it was good.
Unbelievable. Great way. Hey,
nice.
It's a great way to put a little bow on that, that little section. Let's do that. Let's jump into some of the Celtics stuff now. We've been, we chopped it up with Don, caught up a little bit, got into some of the coaching stuff, heard some of the stories from the Hall of Famer, just jumped around for, all the coaching gigs and kind of heard, a couple of highlights on some players. Threw it back. We threw Bucarelli in there. Andy Chase a couple times.
The Bear.
So let's get into the Celtics, man. Let's get into what we think is actually possible. How we think the season has gone so far. Did the expectations change at all? Is this going to be a successful season? If we lose this series, what do we think about the potential max contracts that'll be doled out? I think basically $50 million a year for 5 or 6 years for both Tatum and Brown, potentially on the line. So we'll throw it all on the table. But first, what do we think about the W in Game 4? What do we think about potential W in Game 5 and Game 6? What do we think about the series? I'll give Don. We'll give you the guess. We'll give you the floor first, Don.
Hell yeah, let's go. No, listen. Can they do it? Yes, they're the better team. They're deeper, at every position. I mean, the Heat have playoff Jimmy, and that scares the shit out of me. I tell you what, he's the only player in the NBA that I don't want to face if I'm the Celtics. Like LeBron,
crazy?
whatever. But yeah, can they do it? They can, but it's got to take them working together. And I keep reading all these different things about they don't really get along, and they fake like each other for the media and whatever. I don't know, but at some point they just got to put all that shit aside and just play together.
And that's it.
And Jaylen Brown hasn't been the same. Tatum's had one game. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Fam? Do you think there's actually beef between these two guys?
No, I think what there is there's there's a challenge between both these guys. It's a challenge between and I think naturally, obviously the media is going to stir it up. Do I think there's an actual beef? There might be a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to to take everything away that they worked for the whole entire season. And, again, I don't mean to sound like a green teamer, like, oh my God, these guys are going to do what they can because of the best record. But the reality of it, it's game by game. And I think literally, if you go starting lineup, player for player, no disrespect to any of these guys from the Heat, Gabe Vincent coming off. But like at some point, you got to think player for player. Exactly.
Gabe Vincent's a beast.
Get out of here, Gabe Vincent.
So,
he's
for me,
lights out. Him and Martin.
What is this? What?
Yeah, it's got to be nothing other than just game by game. And for me, again, it's got to be Celtics. I think they can prevail. That's really what I'm getting at.
I think that's a good way to approach it. Game by game, right? If you look at it, we can take them individually, one game at a time, and that's all you can do. Can't win like on the text group with Harry and a whole bunch of these guys.
Harry,
Coutinho, Stedman, and these
Harry.
guys. Harry was like, "Oh, I forget what he said, but I was just like, we can't win 4 games. We're like we say it in volleyball, whatever. You can't win 4 games at once. You can only win 1 game at a time. You can't score 25 points at once. You can only score right. So it's like, you gotta just one bite at a time at the apple. So I'm about game.
I never realized.
Right? Go ahead,
oh, my bad. No, just real quick. I never realized how much sometimes I really can't stand Boston fans, though. For real. Like, I think more than ever now this past season. Nah, I mean, I'm a Boston fan. Don't even get me wrong. But, like, some of these people suck, bro. It's hard. Like, it's hard. It's like, come on, like, this is like probably one of the best teams we've ever had. And people talking about blow it up. I get fired up because it's like, give these guys a damn chance.
It's true. We get greedy around here. It's like we got the bar set so high and the expectations are set so high.
Part of the problem though is going to be the way, and you talked about it, is how salaries are structured, right? Like you got to go max deal. You got to go max deal on both those guys. You can't do one or the other. And that's the question is, can you afford to do both those guys? Can you afford to give Brown his max contract? Has he been worth it? I think you have to. To me, they've been the best scoring duo for the last 4 years, right? So without a doubt, you try to keep those two together. And I would hate to lose Marcus Smart, but I'm like, all right, you might have to lose him. If
someone's got to go. Someone's got to go. People have to go.
Someone's got to go. Yeah. I mean, you got, and you know what people don't realize is Gallinari's not healthy yet. And he's someone who's on contract, who's going to help out next year. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do postseason.
There's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of storylines all over the place, man. And the salary structures, it's going to throw things out of whack, man. That's a weird dynamic. That's like there's only 12 people, whatever, in the locker room. That's definitely a weird dynamic. What do you think about out west? Any thoughts with LeBron? Do we really think he's retiring? I mean, Denver looking like a juggernaut. The Joker looking unbelievable, looking unstoppable. I don't really have much of, I hope we get a crack at them. That's what I hope.
Have you been staying up late to
Yeah.
watch them? Because damn, they are good. They are so good. Jamal Murray is so good.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't watched. Fam, have you been able to watch them? I haven't watched them.
I've watched tidbits of it all. I saw, some of that Lakers. I saw a lot of Lakers,
I
Memphis.
caught like highlights here and there.
For sure. But yeah, for me, the Lakers, honestly, I thought it was an impressive run. Like, thought it was a pretty impressive run to go take out the number 2 seed in Memphis, go out, take out Golden State. There was a part of me, obviously, for reasons for Celtics Lakers, I wanted that, but when it really comes down to it, it's a hell of a performance by LeBron and his staff, all the way up, all those guys.
He's an animal.
For sure.
Beast.
For sure.
It's 20th year. LeBron, he don't get enough respect. Oddly enough, I think he's like weirdly disrespected. Like,
it is weird, fam. It is weird. Honestly, there was a lot of hate because just honestly, it came from a competitive standpoint. But I don't know. Maybe there was just weird, crazy, fam. Like,
right, but now you got to respect it, right?
Of course,
for sure. Now you got to respect it, and it's not to say you didn't. It's not to say you didn't respect it. It's no different when we play.
For sure,
athletes, right? We all been in the heat of battle.
Oh yeah.
There might be like somebody who's better. There might be somebody who's better than us, and it's like, I'm still battling. And at the end, I can still show respect, and I can still be like, "Wow, this guy was a dog."
I don't know what you're talking about. There's been no one better than me, but that's all right. No, like, listen, you talk about LeBron, and honestly, he's not the GOAT. I'll say that. I'll be on record. If I was on with you or Stephen A., I don't care. I'll say the same thing. He's not the GOAT. He might be the most talented player ever to play the game because he can do everything.
Yeah, and Don, we touched on that.
I can't front. Like, AD should have been number 1, and it turned out LeBron was number 1. So I don't know. Go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I was gonna say we touched on it one time, saying that on a one-on-one, like, who are you taking? I'm taking LeBron. But when you really kind of think about it, from a
Over
team
who?
perspective, and just I'm taking LeBron over MJ. One-on-one? And you're telling me no?
Taking him over everyone. Taking him over everyone.
What? What are we talking about? I can't. I mean, no disrespect. I'm just saying.
You're young, man. You're young. You don't know, man.
Nah, chill.
That's the age gap right there. I'm taking MJ all day. MJ will like slit the guy's throat as he goes up, whereas LeBron will apologize for bumping into him as he goes up. There's a difference. It's a mindset of these players today. It's huge difference. But
crazy,
listen,
man.
but I will go on record as saying LeBron is the most talented player I've ever seen. But I wouldn't take him number 1.
So I think we're all pretty much in agreement, Victoria. So I think you made a good point. I think the Lakers made a pretty solid run out there. I think the team was kind of a dumpy team overall. Kind of constructed weird with like Westbrook to start the season. They made a trade to get D'Lo back, and that didn't really work out. I don't know. I don't think he's going to retire. I think LeBron's coming back. I think he wants to play with his son ultimately and try to get kind of throw that one in there. But
while we're on this, can we talk about Bronny's prom fit? Did you see this at all?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my God. So he came out with no shirt on, like it's just a jacket with no shirt on was like his prom fit. And I'm like,
hey,
I can't get down with that. But I'm not him. Like, he can do whatever he wants. So
well, I personally would have sweated right through that. I would have been.
I've been sweating like a moron.
I need like 2 undershirts,
For sure.
I saw a thing with Theo Vaughn one time. He was like, "Yo, we put the deodorant." He's like, "We start at the wrist, baby, with the deodorant like this." Theo Vaughn. He's like, "Yo, we start at the wrist, baby." I was like, "Damn!" Every time I put my deodorant on, I'd be thinking about that now. I'm like, "Damn, I can't start." I'm like, "Yo, I gotta start at the elbow, maybe."
I like the wrist.
Like
Yo, that's good. That's good.
Wrist,
He's a riot.
Damn. Yo, the visual.
Listen,
too. I was like,
especially
damn.
it's prom night. You'll be busting a
Yo,
move like young
moving,
MC.
right.
You got to be doing
That's
something.
crazy.
Moving and shaking, like yo, it's always gonna. I'm sure it's gonna get hot. So we'll keep that. We'll shut down the West on that. Just bring it back real quick. Kind of last thoughts on the East. What do we think here? Can the Celts take? Honestly, Celts in 7. Is that what we're thinking? One game at a time.
Vic, you got this? No, what?
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you right now.
What are you thinking, fam?
I'm saying it right here. Celtics in 7. You know, I already said that Dave Portnoy and some idiot shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax, bro. But outside of that, you know, Celtics in 7, bro.
As a fan, I'm Celtics in 7. As a coach, yeah, they're going 6, but I don't know if they can get to the 7. If they can get to a 6, it's going to change the momentum big time. Like, right, all of a sudden, my heart tells me Celtics in 7. My brain tells me Heat in 6. I hate to straddle the fence and get some chafing going on, but damn, like it's.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, Victoria's good. Yo, I want to give you some stats real quick. We talked about Jokic and Murray, LeBron. So LeBron averaged this year, in year 20, 28.9 points, 8 rebounds, 6.8 assists on 50% field goals. So 29, 8, and 7. Unbelievable.
You know, wait. Before you move on from Lakers, I gotta give some love to Austin Reeves.
Oh, AR-15?
Nice. He kept him in it this whole time.
He's nice.
He is nice.
I heard him talking shit to Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis slacking on defense, and Austin Reeves was like, yo, do something. Like, you're stagnant, dog.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
relax, Austin. Austin, like relax, bro.
Yo, fall back. Fall back, AR. Chill.
Like that WWE video fan.
I'm that man.
Bitch slap.
I'm that man. But I got to give him some love, and he's going to be at a point where he's either going to take the money or he's going to stay because he's going to get crazy offers.
Love it, love that.
So.
Take the bread. Everybody's got a price. Dun, dun. We're gonna go Celts in 7 here. Don's throwing out maybe the quasi Heat in 6. So respect, Don. We'll go.
Listen, I told you, Jimmy Butler scares the crap out of me. Like that man,
we just need Gabe Vincent. We just need these other guys to come down to earth and stay earthbound, and then we'll be okay.
Caleb Martin,
please.
Caleb Martin's he's got the highest shooting percentage of everybody.
Like Finn Balor says, tranquilo.
He's up here. He's repping New England, but
yeah, Williams represent.
Yes, D3. Yep. So now we're going for the Celts. We're going for the Celts in 7. By the time this episode comes out, like I said, Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully, Celts win Game 5.
Come on.
Hopefully, Celts win Game 6. So we'll be, this episode will pop around right around then. So be on the lookout. Like we said, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Episode 86, Rip Pod in the house. We're here with special guest Don Ferguson, Coach Don, Don the ex-con. I don't know if we're gonna go there. But,
we don't want to talk about that. That's all right.
Yeah, if you get jammed up, don't mention my name. Let's get into some PGA stuff. I know Don been out there. He's out there golfing. I was out there golfing last week.
Where'd you go?
Lost $25 to my man Dan. Unbelievable. Over friggin' 9 holes. Went to Merrimack Valley Golf Course.
Hey.
It's the default course there in Methuen, Mass.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what just nice, easy, walkable course, Don. Nice kind of, pretty friendly course. So we try to get out there.
It's a nice course.
After work on Fridays throughout the summer. We just kind of so it's not bad. We try to get twilight, we get 9 and then maybe, a couple more in after that.
Couple extra. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we're just, we've been following the PGA streets, the live streets. We saw the full swing stuff with Netflix. I don't know if you caught that stuff, but kind of behind the scenes on. But yeah, we're really in the golf streets now. 2 Puerto Ricans, but we're in there, Don. Can't be stopped.
I love it.
What do you?
First off, that Netflix special that was fantastic, right?
The full swing, yeah. They're following them this year too. There's definitely going to be another season.
And I love that they followed the guys that went to live equally, right? Like they presented both sides. right? They didn't say like one's better than the other.
Brooks, DJ for sure. They showed
Yeah, the
Mito.
English guy is killing me
Oh
there. I
yeah,
can't think of his. He's an older
Ian
gentleman.
Poulter.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. They showed Mito and like the Chilean guys, Joaquin Neiman. Yeah, they definitely. You're right, Don. They
A
showed
lot of
That's a
demographics.
good point.
But I will tell you guys, and I don't know if you felt this way, like being family guys, right? Tony Finau, my man, like just when and he just won the Mexico Open 2 weeks ago. Like I was all in. Like he's the guy that I follow that now that I never followed before, that I'm all in. And right after he won the Mexico Open, he was caddying for his son. Like 3 hours later, he hopped on a plane and went to caddy for his son. Like that dude, like I'm pulling for him big time.
Yeah, we hit that on the episode, and I know Victorious mentioned too. He's like an easy guy to root for.
Easy.
You know? So just for sure, got the family base. Easy guy to root for. So just like you said, Don, he's out there caddying for the kids. Just won the tournament.
For the
yeah,
children.
It's just cool to see behind the scenes. Good to see behind the scenes. You know, Wu-Tang is for the kids. We know that.
Y'all.
It was weird to see, like, you know, speaking of, right, we got to see behind the scene with Brooks. He just came and won the PGA Championship, his third PGA Championship,
Brooks,
his fifth major.
Coming off just barely losing the Masters, like
came in second place in the Masters. Looking
he's
for
on a hot
Cup
streak.
Spot.
Yeah,
Victorious,
one before too.
I know you were in the DraftKings streets. You know, Don, we got a DraftKings game. We got a DraftKings game out there every week. So yeah, Victorious was cheesing last week because he came in second place.
So
won a couple bucks.
So as a coach, I can't bet.
Yeah, NA, right? NA for you? No can't do.
Nice. Yep.
So anyways,
no cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
Yeah, you're good.
No,
we played some.
Listen,
were you able to catch any of the tournament?
Oh, I watched the last 3 days of it. Listen, Brooks was amazing. Every time it looked like Hovland was going to catch him, Brooks pushed ahead and just finished under pressure. But without a doubt, the story of PGA was Michael Block. I don't know if you caught this guy. Like,
yes, for sure.
Ridiculous.
I don't want to say I'm like sick of this story already, Don, but like, this guy this man gives so much coverage. It's unbelievable.
What the hell is so special about Michael Block?
Like he stole
What's so special about him?
All right, so let me ask you, where do you golf? Where do you go to a local club? Where do you go?
Probably like my Nintendo Wii, fam. What?
All right, so if you go to you're up in New Hampshire, right? So let's say you go to Wyndham Country Club, if there is one. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe if they're not shooting foxes or bears.
There's Wyndham. Yeah, there's Wyndham. Right.
Right, Wyndham, right?
National CC, right by Riv.
National Country Club. And that guy is now freaking trying out for the PGA, and he ends up in the 15th, and now he's invited to like the next year.
Yes.
Like that's
okay.
It's a real cool story.
No, it was a genuine question. I had no idea who this guy was.
Right. Like it'd be like, and that's why it's a big like if your job, like all of a sudden you go against the best of the nation and you're the top 15, and now you just made $288,000 in one weekend.
Damn.
That's a big deal.
Stakes on this guy.
We're coming in 15th.
Huge. Oh, and he had the hole in one, right? And he had the
hole in one on 15th was ridiculous. Like it didn't bounce and roll in; it landed in. It holed. I've never seen that happen before, ever. So that was ridiculous.
What do we think about Brooks and like the Live Tour kind of showing their teeth? I know they go 3 rounds instead of 4. There's definitely some small whatever changes or obviously some differences, but I know I had a bet on Victor Hovland, and I had a bet on Scheffler. Of course, they came in like second and third.
It's a good bet, though. It's a good bet.
Yes, so I definitely was like salty about Brooks winning, but I just gotta show respect and hand it to the man. Like he definitely went out and took it. Hovland, kind of gave him a little bit of breathing room. Like on 16, he put one right into the bunker there. Pretty gnarly shot. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, good tournament, fun tournament. I love to see hard courses. Yeah, fam, what do you got?
I was just gonna say, like, just with the Live. I mean, even Bryson DeChambeau, right? Didn't he finish like 4th or 5th or something like that?
Yeah.
Again, I know that's a
Yep,
you know
for sure.
that's
He was coming up.
I don't know who else placed further outside of that, but for those two guys to finish top 5 in a pretty big event, I think Brooks spoke to it, and it goes without saying. It's an obvious statement, but it is what it is. It happened. You know what I'm saying? So the conversation now is there. Like, Liv is there, and they're not going away.
Yeah, it's true, right? It gave them like some credence, right? Put a little wind in their sails for sure.
I don't think there's ever been a question of does Liv have good players, right? It's a question of how long can it last, like the money they're throwing behind it, and it's
for a while.
Saudi oil money, like that's what it is, right? So but I don't know if their fan base is what it is where it can keep it going. So because I'll be honest, I haven't watched the Live Tour yet.
I haven't watched a second of. I haven't watched one swing of Live Tour.
And it's not because I'm not interested. It's just I just haven't.
Well,
like
I guess AEW is still running
major,
too.
I want to watch it.
Well, we talk about. It's true. We talk about all the time.
Give me some root beer, baby.
There's only so much bandwidth. There's only so much bandwidth. There's only so much time in the day. You got, we all have our, it's a lot going on.
Wait, I got something I got to get off my chest.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm a little upset. First off, as PR guys, right? You follow my man Manolito, Manolo. He's a golf instructor down in Miami. Freaking awesome. If you ever get a chance, I'm throwing. No, Barry Manilow. No, but you ever get a chance, I'll shoot you guys stuff. But anyways, great tips. I randomly entered a contest through him and some allergy medicine. I ended up winning grass from Augusta, right?
Unbelievable.
Right, still growing out on my porch right now. But I won 2 tickets to U.S. Open in L.A. next month.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't use them. Like by the time I got them, it was like a month later. So I just gave them to a friend of mine in LA. So, but I'm like, I got it. Like it sucks.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was so disappointed because it was for championship day, like on that Sunday, which is Father's Day too. So it'll be interesting that day. But I was like, oh, that sucks. That's what I'm talking about. Adulting sucks. I have to put my family ahead of my own needs.
I know.
But I would have been there in a heartbeat. Like LA Country Club that's the next major. So
and just as you were talking about it, it came into like I've heard of this guy. He talks with the accent. He's like hitting out of the bunkers and like wiggling. He's got the tight gear on. The Euro.
Yes. Don't be nasty.
Yes.
That guy. Yes. If you haven't followed him, like follow him.
Yes.
Like
yep. It just came to me.
Dude has helped my game so much. Like I'm not even playing. Like first off, he's enjoyable to listen to, but dude has helped my game like incredibly.
He's giving out real pointers.
Yeah, he's good. Well, and Paige Pranick too, but that's a different story. So
what's your home course then? What courses around you that you like to hit up?
So locally around me, there's Pomperaugh Golf Club, which is like the local muni, right? Like it's quick 9.
I love a muni.
But it's good. Like I got to know these guys a little bit, so they let me on, sometimes at a discount, whatever, So bang for your buck, it's right there. Yeah. But then like I played today, Oxford Green, which is a semi-public course, but it's got like the 3rd hardest hole in Connecticut. Like their number 3 hole is their number 1 hardest hole in Connecticut. So like I get out there and I play a men's league there on Wednesdays. So it just lets me rip at it a little bit. So we'll see.
There you go.
But awesome. I try to do, if you haven't been on Golf Now yet, like hit up Golf Now, and you can check out hot deals everywhere and find a place to play.
Oh, awesome! I like
that app is killer.
Wow, look at that. So,
nice, no free ads
for the watchers out there. Check that.
Yeah.
Check that.
Golf
out.
Now. Why don't you throw some sponsorship money at my boys? Let's go.
Wow, love to see it. If you're trying to get into a nice little round, it's not pay full price. Golf Now, check it out. Let's jump into, we got still 2 more majors coming up, right? Got the Masters, obviously, and what's the last one? The
Masters is gone. Masters is
the Open, yep, the British,
the U.S. Open and the British Open, right?
And the U.S. Open, and that's out like you said, next month.
LA Country Club.
We got a nice little stretch now. between the PGA and the U.S. Open. The PGA and the British Open. Nice little stretch here of golf. A couple months here. Anything else that you guys want to wrap up in the golf world? Anything that you anything else caught your eye besides like Michael Block, Brooks, the full swing stuff? What else we got in the golf world? Anything else?
Coming up,
you getting out there more and more, Don, or what?
Like I said, getting out there more and more. But I'm supposed to. I just got a message. I think I told you last year I worked the TPC Highland.
Oh yes, yeah, we saw you out there.
Yeah, and they just bumped that up. They bumped that price tag up, so I think it's got a lot more star power this year. Scheffler was there last year, won it last year. Tony Finau was there. Like I said, it was interesting. I got lucky. I ended up working with the camera guys, just behind the scenes, picking up some.
I was in Connecticut, I think, around that time.
Did you go to it?
Nah.
Oh, I think I remember that. I think I remember that. No, that's funny, Don, that you mentioned it. I remember you throwing up some pictures there out on the socials that you were at that tournament, the Travelers. I've been to the Travelers too. The Deutsche Bank. The Deutsche Bank used to come up to right outside of like Taunton or right outside of Mansfield. Yeah, and they would play out there. So I've been out there. I saw Tiger out there a few times.
Yeah, it's called
at least once.
It's called the Travelers now. It used to be Highland TPC, but now that's just the name of the course. But Travelers Championship, and they bumped it up, and there's more stars coming than ever.
Yeah, I think solid field.
And it's in direct response to the Live Tour, and that's what it is. They all these like semi smaller ones, they bumped up the purses.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The purses all around are increased. They've got designated events that are majorly increased, and I think just the general ones, they've all took a bump in the right direction for sure.
It's cool.
Let's do this. Let's put a bow on the golf stuff. Let's jump into. We've gone all around. Feel like we've been vibing here. 10:40 here on this Wednesday night. Rip Pod in the house. Victoria's pounding through those audio issues. Victoria's powering through the audio issues. Love it, fam. Can't be stopped.
He just got T-Mobile for his house. He's good. He's pumped.
Wow, he just got the Slowskis over there.
Yeah. I'm about to go at someone tomorrow on the sure.
Starlink. Yeah. I told Don you're on the Starlink. You got like that.
Yo, chill, fam. What the hell, man?
This
guy's ripping me right now.
That's it.
I mean,
we still
if
love
the shoe
fam.
fits, Cinderella. What's up?
We're here. Let's do this. Let's jump into some OT stuff, fam. Let's jump. Don, I don't know if there's anything else or anything you want to get off your chest. Like I said, we went all through it. Caught up with Don. Went through some golf. Went through some basketball. We just want the Celts. That's all we're going for.
Come on now. Listen.
That's what the Rip Pod is pulling for. Let's get some OT stuff done. Get some off your chest. What's really grinding your gears? Victorious. You take the lead off on this one, Victorious.
Hey, let's go.
Get on base. Give me a solid single. What do you got?
That's what I got.
I'll drive you in. Don will drive you in. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll hit that single. With that delay.
Put it in 1080 mode. Let's go.
Give me a bunt.
Nah,
a bunt down the line.
I already told you guys. Parking garage stuff, fam. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these people just not obeying the rules of a simple, going into a garage and following protocol and understanding that you got to take sharp lefts, sharp rights. And it's like, people don't care. It's like, it's too early in the morning as I hate to sound like I'm bitching about stuff, but I'm getting it off my chest because really I'm sick of it. So if anybody's out in the Lawrence area,
that's why we're here.
You know what I'm saying? On the Lawrence area in the morning in the parking garage, right there on Merrimack, y'all need to clean it up because things need to change. If you hit my car, I'm going to come out and I'm going to have a talk with you. I'm not a violent guy, but this shit needs to stop. So, I'm giving pretty much a whole shout out to all Lawrence, parking garage, anywhere, really, honestly. So if you're in any garage at any point, and you see do not enter, don't enter that. I'm sick of it.
How is that hard to understand? How is
Listen,
that high?
Bunch
my
of
wife
pukes,
puts that
man.
sign up all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I follow it all the time.
Pukes.
Yo, it's just done. Yo, chill, Don. This guy, yo.
I didn't hear that.
Chill, Don.
Do not enter. I'm just saying, like, done. Vic, you follow the rules, right? Come on
Yeah,
now.
I'm a rule
Yeah,
follower.
yo, the parking situation
I'm a rule
sometimes,
follower.
man, I'll get heated because, yo, fam, you know, before we went hot, I was talking about the parking situation, man. You know, it's like you sometimes it's like you win one time, you know, like I try to win with my family, you know, try to get that lovely parking spot. Because I tell you, I had to give, yeah, I've been patting myself on the back for like 2 weeks since this, because nobody else in my family gonna do it. All right.
Right.
I'll tell you this though. One time I punched in the incorrect GPS coordinates. I punched in Chunky's to Pelham. We were supposed to go to Chunky's in Nashua. And, you know, we were halfway to like Chunky's and Pelham or whatever. And Chris is like, yo, you punched in the right place, right? And I'm like, oh, whatever. We still got to the right, yeah, of course I didn't. We still got to the right place in time, right? No harm, no foul. But I'm still hearing about that to this day, right? Now, did I hear anybody give me a pat on the back when I caught that victory parking spot?
No.
No. Did I hear anybody show me any love? Like, wow, Hav, we zoomed in and out. Thank you, Daddy. Appreciate it. We
Nope.
didn't have to wait. You know, you did your homework ahead of time. Like, no, just, you know, just like coaching, thankless, you know. So I just do my part, you know. Same as you. Yeah, I try to follow the rules. You know, I try not to be a rule breaker, but it's like, yo, enough is enough sometimes. You know?
Enough.
First off, I got to call a timeout. There's a Chunky's in Nashua now.
Oh yes.
Shit.
Yep.
See, this is
Chunky's and Astra.
all right. So I guess that's what I'll grind about. Shit changing all the time. Like there's all these new additions. Like I went back to Riv. They all these buildings and stuff. Like I'm getting old, man. Everything's changing. Every time I go back up there, something's different. You know, and that's frustrating as hell. But I tell you, it's so exciting to see every time I'm up there. So
please please tell me you use Waze. Does everyone use Waze?
No.
Yep.
What do you use? Like I find it silly that people don't use Waze. What
Google
are you
Maps.
using, Don?
Google Maps. It says the same
All right.
thing.
Stop.
Come
use
on
the
now.
Waze.
You must have an Android phone too,
right?
Don.
I don't even understand how people don't use the Waze.
No, I 14. Like.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Come on now.
All right.
I got kids. I got kids that keep me updated. So every time I go back in, you know, I said my daughter's in college, my son's in high school. So every time I go, they're like, you need this phone, Dad. I'm like, whatever. all I need is like social media and internet. I'm good.
They need to tell Victorious what internet he needs. We need to see. We'll get them on the IT team.
Yeah, you guys better
Victorious,
watch it.
You need Hotmail.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with my people tomorrow.
What else? Are we gonna? Hey, what else can we chat about on episode 86, guys? We hit, like I said, a ton of stuff. Pumped to have the homie Don here. Victorious is still powering through. Your boy Javier here. Memorial Day weekend. Let's set it off. How about Memorial Day weekend? How about summer plans? Officials, you know, little kickoff to summer here. What do we got cooking?
Victorious, are you coaching this weekend?
There's a game.
Are you coaching this weekend? You coaching the kids in the soccer? What's up?
Yeah, we got a Saturday morning game, and we just keep going. We keep powering through.
Saturday morning. We're not taking a break.
Nope.
No days off.
No days off.
There used to be a big kids soccer tournament in Nashua. Is that still happening for Memorial Day?
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Gotcha.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm in Londonderry.
There's like one down in literally all. Yeah, they're literally all over the place. Yep, they're literally all over the place. I know there's one in Epping.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Like I know Canetta was talking about his kids got a tournament. I think
Canetta. Oh.
So
dude's a principal. Come on now.
Yeah, he's been a principal.
I know. It blows my mind.
Unbelievable.
Things we can't talk about here, and he's a principal. I'm just saying.
What's cooking for the summer? Do you have any plans trip? We'll leave on this last final one. Any plans trip for the summer? Anything cooking? Anything you have on deck for the summer, Don?
I don't know.
Around the house you got to get done. Any renovations? What are we doing?
There's always renovations, man. There's nonstop. Like last summer we had the place sanded and painted, so we're good there. There's some stuff. I got some water coming in the basement somehow, somewhere. I got to figure that out. Like it's nonstop. But you know what? I'll be honest. I kind of put the house stuff on hold all the time. I do. It's just as long as we have a roof over our head, and I'm good.
I'm the
Yeah,
same way,
like,
Don. I've been looking at the
it's the
same
least
thing
important
here
thing
that
to
I
me.
probably should get fixed a while ago. I get it, brother. I get it.
Exactly. Like that's the least of my worry. So this summer, honestly, like my daughter's heading out to Portugal and Italy for a little bit. So she's doing that
just for fun, just to travel,
just for fun, just to travel, just to check things out. Like, come on, living life, right? Like, I didn't get that
that's what
shit.
you should be doing.
Come on.
That's what you should be doing. I'm such a Sally Don. I'm like, yo, she better watch herself. You know, she better.
It's true. Don't think.
All right.
I've been to Puerto Rico, man. I love Puerto Rico. I love San Juan. I've been out hiking into the freaking down to the waterfall there. It's freaking awesome.
My parents just came back.
Went to a cockfight there. It's different. It's awesome. I had a good time there. I took a team there a couple years ago. Loved it. Like, not quite the St. Thomas trip I took with you, Hob, but it was good. Yeah, I run the University of New Hampshire camps for them too.
Nice.
So I'll be up there for, I think it's the second and third week of July. So I'll be up there. You know, I'll take a few days off to go golfing in between. But for the most part, just just going to the beach with the missus and catching time when I can.
Hit me up when you get up this way to do that. Hit me up when you get up.
Are you gonna make it up?
That's in Durham?
Yeah.
It's tough to. I'll meet you halfway somewhere.
I'll meet you in Portsmouth. Like, I have a good time. A little friendly toast in the morning.
I'll meet you in Portsmouth.
All right. Don't say it.
I know what friendly toast is. That's awesome. It's just a little something to look forward to. Any other
Wait, Hob, what about you?
No, I don't have much going on this summer.
Come on.
Just closing. I feel like every weekend, right, Don? You know how the drill goes. Yeah. Every weekend there's a birthday party, right, Victorious? You're linking up with this
fucking
person.
Parties, man.
They got, we got the beach trip. We got a Canopy Lake trip, like, so just like, we have a little spot in Maine that we go to. We have a cabin in Boothbay Harbor where my wife and I got married.
Nice.
So we got a family spot up there that we're fortunate enough to, I real talk, I fucking hate it. But yeah, real talk. I like.
Honey, you ready to go? No, I fucking hate it,
dude. I'm just like I don't want to say like I'm a homebody.
Does she listen to this?
No, she doesn't listen to this. No, just listen to this. But I tell her all the time.
Same.
Like places like I'm not into like bugs. I'm not into like fucking. No, I want to sleep in my bed that I paid a lot of money for. That like is comfortable. I don't want to go sleep on like an air mattress like in the woods. Or like, you can't even like take a dump in this thing. Like you go to take a poop and like you back up the flush, everything, it's like, I just want to take a dump.
Don't want me up
be on with my life.
I don't want to use a plunger. I just want to go.
I'm a simple guy, I don't, so that's,
I will say like when you guys are talking about your summers, like I'm in a different place than you, right? Like my kids are older, like I said, my son's finishing up his sophomore year.
But right, Don, you know what it's like to be right, Victorious. Every weekend is like a count. Like
every weekend,
like booked solid, birthday parties, events, Revs game.
But what you need to know
is bad things. Not to say bad things, but like it's busy. Like it's not.
But what you need to know is like when that's done, you got to find ways to occupy your time. Right, like you can nap. Like I have a bi-weekly poker game. I'm playing golf this weekend. You know what I mean? But you need to find stuff because it's amazing when I would turn back time in a heartbeat and do all that stuff over again. But when it's done, you gotta find stuff. Like otherwise you're by yourself and you're like, what the hell? Because your wife your wife is like, whatever, I'm doing my own thing. So
yes, for sure.
It's true.
No, it's a good point. It's hard to realize it sometimes while you're in it, but it changes fast, and you still got to for sure. You got time. Time's gonna end up being on like it'll be available at some point, but it's hard to envision it now, Don.
You will, and you're gonna wish like, oh, remember that was easy, like we just had the games going to.
I know, right? It's just that's all we have for Saturdays, just going to games.
Crazy,
awesome. Yo, thank you so much for joining us, Don, man. It's been awesome to chat with you. Victorious, man, thank you for powering through, brother. I know it wasn't easy, so I appreciate you. Appreciate that, fam. Don, I'll give you the last word. Any shout outs, any love you want to drop, but I'm just going to say, again, thank you for stopping on, man. Episode 86. Memorial Day weekend, kick it off, man. Been wanting to have you on for a little bit, man. Don, I know I've been trying to get you on, so
well, listen, like I said, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I just only shout I have is just much love to you guys and keep this going. You know, Vic with his Flintstone internet going on. I don't know.
One time, fam. You know, one time. That's what happens. It's like, yo,
but
80 some odd episodes, yo.
No, but seriously, 86 episodes. That's amazing. And like I said, you guys are just doing this for the love and just showing everybody like appreciation. And like I said, I enjoy it. Your last couple of guests, like I've got a chance to hear, you know, some of them, and they're obviously much younger and had nothing to do with me. So it was good to hear and just listen to. So I appreciate you guys. Keep telling the stories, man.
That's it, Don.
It's good stuff.
That's it. That's how we
Thank
do
you
it.
so much,
That's how we
man.
do it,
Thank
man.
you so much, Victorious. Appreciate you. I don't know if you got some final words, fam. But yeah, episode 86, Memorial Day weekend, man. Fam, I don't know if you got anything.
Vic's got words like come in 3 minutes later. Hold on one sec.
Come on, fam. All right, yo, we're gonna
Yo, thank you guys.
episode 86. We're getting the hell out of here, yo. Fuck.
Yo, cut this. Yo, end the stream, bro. End the stream.
Yo, Memorial Day weekend. Cut. Yo, cut. Yo.